All right. Hey there and happy Monday. If you live in this area, we might be getting a storm. It's hard to say what's going to all happen, but I'm just kind of ready to get snuggled in and do that. Let's see. Um, just making sure that, okay, yes, I do. I updated my phone, so whenever I get messages or different things, it all looks a little different. Hey there, Brenda. And my texts look different, all of my notifications look different. Yeah, no storms. Yeah, and I know north of us they're probably already getting nailed, but hopefully it'll just be a little inconvenience here, but still I just want to stay snuggled in. All right, but because of that, hi there, Julie. Hi, Lois. Hi, Tori. Hi, Darla. I wanted to bring you something tropical today. I was talking to Tori live, like not in person, but like live on the phone, like a real phone conversation. And birds were chirping where she was at. It's nice and warm. So I think, Tori, you might have inspired me to do something fun and tropical today. So it's the Artfully Composed Suite. And as I hold this up to the camera, there you can see there's two leaves. As I hold it back, it kind of just looks like something's just smashed down there in a weird way. But let me get my camera turned around. My iPad's working, and then you can see the card the right way and kind of even see there what the sentiment is supposed to say, because it's always hard to read those kind of inverted that way too. And Rosina, hello there. So here it says happiest birthday wishes. Isn't that just one of those fun fonts that you kind of go, oh, it just looks happy just the way it's written out there. And these dies are just so fun. So that is coming from the mini catalog here on pages 32 and 33. It's a whole suite of projects here, so you can see that. And there's this joke, my stamping friend from Texas, Rolanda, she's a demonstrator also, and we spend a lot of time together actually throughout the year. And just text back and forth too. And as this new catalog came out, we go page by page throughout the Stampin' Up! Live event, and we're like, oh, don't need that. And then, of course, just like you guys see me do, there's something that's made with this, and I'm like, yep, putting that on my list, one of the first things I got. So what I'm showing you today is a stamp set and the dies. I am going to use the faux sea glass, even though those are out of stock for a bit. And then the layering design vellum. I've used that before. I'm going to use that again. Let's see. And then this pretty paper too. So I'm combining kind of two papers. And Tori, oh, that's a bummer that it keeps dropping. But I also know you're kind of in that sketchy area. So that could be why too. Hi there, Kay. So that is where that's coming from. And I'm really kind of staying true to the fact that I'm using things that are all within one suite. Sometimes I kind of mix and match different things, but if you see this, you'll go, yeah, this is why you don't need to really stray too far, because the sentiments are great. Everything's pretty. It coordinates so well. So the Artfully Layered stamp set has a nice thank you, happiest birthday, sending all the hugs, and hey there, and just kind of fun to have that with a little bit of like a collage or shabby chic looking stamp too. And then the dies, I am just using two of these dies today. Those and what is left in here with from the Tropical Layers dies is, oops, oh my goodness, is a fun neat little border here, and then that coordinates with this, and then this one coordinates with this, but I'm also doing the cutout, which is a different die, and then this coordinates with this, and then that can also be like an accent piece as well as extra little pieces too. So that's the Tropical Layers dies. Nice big dies. I think that's why it kind of caught my eye too, was just it makes a statement. It's just fun to have something that big and vibrant. And I love Calypso Coral. It wasn't too long ago that I went, you know what, this is one of my favorite colors, the card-based Calypso Coral. And so I just got it out not too long ago again, because it felt like it had been sitting there over the holidays and I needed something kind of springy. So if you remember this layering vellum here, the last time I used it, I don't know if that'll pick it up super well or not. Here, maybe better lighting. The map, I used it with that driving by stamp set with a car. You've got style. And today I'm pulling out this piece, and it's just kind of just some cursive handwriting. It almost looks like journaling, and it kind of twists. So it's one direction and another direction, and that's on purpose. And so with every design in here, wherever there's a black, there's a white. So depending on what card you get from me for the set of 10, and Brenda just said, I want your set of 10. You'll get my set of 10, then you'll get put on the list. You'll get either the black or white. And I think both look great. If they didn't, then you'd only get one of them, because I want your cards to look really nice. Now for the bright, fun, tropical pattern, I say tropical because it does look like tropical with the bird of paradise flower on there, and you have to go somewhere a little bit warmer to see those bloom. So even though it's just called Artfully Composed, there's nothing tropical in the name. So there's one design. And then even this just has like a nice little peachy scripty font and look to that. And because this is the first time I'm using it, I kind of try and give you an overview of some of the patterns in there too. Hi there, Pam. And then this I think is gorgeous. This is the Evening Evergreen, and I think this would make great masculine cards just because of that fun background. And then this looks like they just tucked in some of those dies that I just showed you into the pattern of that background paper, and then just kind of a nice little plain calypso coral there. And then this one's pretty bold pattern too. So if you like bold patterns, this will be the one for you. Or if you like to scrapbook and like your patterns a little bit larger so that your pictures kind of just pop, that might be the thing too. And how fun is like this little random design too, with lots of greens, just jade, old olive, little specks of Evening Evergreen. And then this, the dies actually cut these out. So if you like laying your dies on the paper to do that, you can do that. And I did double check because some of these look pretty dark, like especially if you're looking through the camera with me today, you might go, is that black? So I double checked because I was thinking about doing some extra matting on my card. It's Evening Evergreen, but it does get kind of dark, because I thought, oh, that would be a fun pop to have black with the calypso coral in that too. And this is just fun too. And I like sometimes when it gets a little grungy there. And then this is just another fun greenery one. I know you guys love the greenery types of designer series paper, so it's kind of fun to have that. And then just black and white little polka dots. I'll try and hold it still, otherwise it'll make your eyes go a little wonky. So that's it with the paper. Let me start in with the card. It really comes together fast, and one of those things that can kind of be a fun layout as well. So what I'm going to do, kind of just show you my color combination here. I have some Calypso Coral, basic white, and then the pretty designer series paper, and then the layering vellum is tucked in here too. And then my other colors are Old Olive and Evening Evergreen. And I think what I'm going to do first is just stamp out that happiest birthday wishes. I'm going to kind of start at the top of the card and work my way kind of reverse, which is different. So happiest birthday wishes is going to get inked up with Calypso Coral here. And Brenda said, I have to order. Yeah, you do have to order this. There's somewhere it's like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I was on the fence because I just thought, do I need that? And then I saw so many pretty things with it. And I was like, yes, that works for me. So what I did is I just had this scrap laying there, and I knew I wanted it 3 inches. So I've already cut it 3 inches across. And instead of trying to figure out, because this is a cling stamp, and not photopolymer see-through, I wanted to stamp it first and then trim it down a bit, because I didn't want to risk getting it crooked, because I was trying to get it in too small of a space. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stamp it out first, and then I can trim it down to about probably 3/4. And there too, it's just like, okay, that's probably what it ends up being. But I just want to make sure, most of all, that it's straight. Oops, so I'm going to put it in my trimmer. It just wants to move every time I touch it. So I'm just going to kind of trim that down a little bit off the top, and just the tiniest little bit here off the bottom like so. So not a lot, but it's just going to be enough that it's going to fit better on the 1-inch strip. And because all the papers are pretty, I want just kind of a nice strip for my sentiment and not having this be too big and bold, which you obviously could make it big and bold because the paper's big and bold, but I wanted to show more of the paper. Okay, so I've got that. And then actually I'm just going to take and put this across my 1-inch by 4 1/4 inch piece of Calypso coral. So I have that on there like so. Okay, so hopefully, Brenda, I'm giving you an idea then with this. Okay, so for the card base, I'm going to kind of work my way the other way. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Really 8 1/2 scored in the middle there like so. And this paper then is all ready to go on top. So you can see it kind of has the design of what I'm going to cut out there. This is where when I put my adhesive on the back side and went, oh, this is such a pretty shade too. And yet there can be another project for that a different day maybe. So let me just put that down. And then I know that I'm going to, actually this looks just a little bit crooked in my mind. So I might just try and peel this sooner than later. There we go. That came up really, really well. I wasn't so sure, but it did. So I know I want to put this layering vellum down here to cover up some of the boldness. What I love is even through the camera, I'm seeing, at least through my eyes, the designs really well. And so I feel like the vellum adds to it and doesn't make it so that it takes away from that pretty kind of jungly looking theme. So this is kind of how that's going to go, and I'm just going to get some adhesive to stick that onto there. But I think before I do that, I'm ready to cut out those die cuts so I can kind of tuck those in there as I adhere everything together. And even though these are, I think, decently sized dies, I have big hands, so it's hard to know, but I think that even with this being a big sized die, it's going to be a great fit for the, whoops, wrong die, for the mini cut and emboss. I'm just going to put that on there. Just run that through quick, like so. And let's see, get my poking tool here, take your pick tool and get that to not only pop out, but to get all the extra little pieces out, maybe. It's kind of being shy. It's like halfway out, and every time I kind of go after it, then it kind of goes right back in. Okay, there we go. Hi there, Shelly. So there, and you could see how easy all those extra little pieces popped out. They came out before the actual die, and not even that the die was stuck in there. It was just operator failure. I was just having a tough time going after it with my fingers. Okay, and now, so that color was the Evening Evergreen. And then this one that I'm running through is the Old Olive. So you can see that here. And like usual, I chose these colors based on what the cardstock, or not cardstock, the cardstock in the back of the package, that kind of thicker, I always call it my little cheat sheet for listing all the colors, which is so helpful. And why we all love Stampin' Up! Is because that color coordination, so then we don't have to guess what colors they're using. And that was really helpful for me to know that, yes, this is Evening Evergreen and not black, because it did look kind of dark on some of the pictures. Hi there, Joyce. So now I have these two fun shapes cut out there, and I could have ran them through with that adhesive sheet to get this whole backside sticky on both of these, but I decided I want some kind of free flow. I didn't want them to look stuck down and just completely tacked down. I wanted some flow to these pieces, so I decided I'm just going to use a couple glue dots and have that be good enough. So this is kind of where I left off before I did my die cutting here. And so let me put a couple strips of adhesive across our birthday greeting. And then as I lay this vellum piece, oh, and I should tell you, so this pretty paper I cut 4 by 5 1/4. Hi there, Chris. And then this one is cut 3 1/2 by 4.75. So I'm just gonna eye that and kind of center it. And then I'm going to lay this across there, like so. And if you do that, I cut it 4 1/4, but if it doesn't always add up exactly with your card base, because we all know our 4 1/4s and 5 1/2s can always be off just that little tiny bit, well then it's easy just to trim that off. Especially it's easier to trim it off once it's on, because this gives you a nice sturdy edge to cut off. So now it's all flush there. And this still is going to give me some give, because I just put that on there like so and like so. So I'm just going to kind of tuck both of these pieces. Had I been thinking and not worried about how even it was, I would have kind of brought it up a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to take and flip, whoops, this over here, and then add more adhesive exactly where that strip goes through on the back side. So now the vellum has its first bit of adhesive on there like so. I'm just going to reline that up to the edge. So I've got that like so, and you don't want your things to be that free-flowing. So I didn't mean that I wanted it to be that free-flowing. So that's where I need to get out just a couple glue dots. There's kind of a nice little joint here on this area that comes together from different angles. And whoops, it's like it's not sticky. It's because the glue dot stuck to my finger instead of the cardstock. There we go. So where that joint comes together, it really hides the glue dot really well there. And just one is all it's going to take, because it's not like we have to glue it down for the winds that we have outside. This one wanted to stick to my fingers. Maybe it's because my fingers are super dry lately. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tap and tuck that little glue dot there. But yeah, so just putting a glue dot here and there allows this to still kind of flow freely and give it the kind of nice tropical look there that way. And it still doesn't take away from the fun paper and just adds a little bit something to it. And then for accessories today, in that suite of products, Artfully Composed, are the faux sea glass shapes. So they're out of stock, and I've been checking this too just to make sure, like March 7th or the 14th, now I'm not sure, but I do know they're not expected to be back in before celebration ends. So that's kind of the go-to date that I've been checking on for things, anything that's out of stock and unavailable, especially now that we don't have back orders, is I've been checking just to see if anything that is currently out might make its way back before celebration would end, so that you can put it on your order to help qualify for something free. But I'm still going to use them because some of you were on the ball. Not saying that it's bad to be off the ball, but some of you that were on the ball already got your faux sea glass shapes when they first came out. And it's always so hard to know, like, what is going to be the big top seller and such. And so, you know, I got on it right away, and I usually order a few packages so that if I'm making cards to send out to you guys, I make sure that I have enough on hand right away. So that helped. But yeah, you just never know what to get on top of, or what's going to be the thing that's going to sell out right away. It's hard to know. Hey there, Chris. I've got so many Chris's on all of a sudden. So here you can just see, kind of barely see them, those little faux sea glass shapes, and that's where the busyness kind of blends, but it's always kind of fun. I like getting cards where you hardly see the embellishment, and then the closer you look, you're like, oh, you know, that's the paper back there. Oh, these are the little die cut shapes on the top. And then sometimes if you notice the embellishments last, then you know that they're not too garish, otherwise they would have stolen the show in a bad way. But I love how the happiest birthday wishes still pops and is very clear on the card that has a lot, you know, of different things going on and busy patterns and such. Now for the inside, depending on your comfort level, not comfort level, but kind of friendship level with whoever you might be sending this happiest birthday wishes to, you might go, this is the perfect inside. And it says sending all the hugs, and it's part of that stamp set. Like I said, today I'm using everything from the same grouping of products, sending all the hugs. And isn't that just a fun font? And then I'm going to grab some scratch paper here and open up my Evening Evergreen ink pad and tap out some ink on this, and then without re-inking, I'm just gonna kind of give it a little bit of a twist to the side. And how fun is that to kind of just take that tropical look from the front and make sure that it shows up on the inside. And it's just kind of a fun way to have that color coordination just with one ink. So love how big that is. And I can't wait to make cards just using this as a background pattern too. I think that's going to be really fun to work with. So now this is ready to put on some adhesive. And just ties together and coordinates, which is always fun to have that when it works out so well from the outside to the inside of the card. And I really like this color coordination. I think it might be the first time too. And Designer Series paper always forces me to do that. But the first time I've used Calypso Coral and Evening Evergreen together, and it's just so sharp. Sometimes I think I underestimate the power of green and what it can do as far as making other colors just really look pretty. So yeah, so seeing the Evening Evergreen Old Olive with the Calypso Coral is really fun. So guys, that is already card number 5 out of 10 for the February set of 10. So hopefully enjoy the artfully composed suite of products, because like I said, at first I didn't think I needed these, and then I realized, boy, these things are really pretty. So you might think that same thing too. So let me get the camera turned around. And hopefully if you're in an area near here, you stay warm and safe. Some of you are teachers. Maybe you're looking for a snow day. Maybe it's more work because of virtual learning too. So that's always, you know, that toss up of, do I want the snow day? Don't I? I always want everybody safe and not out on the roads if they don't have to be. My middle son has now done some substitute teaching, and he's enjoying that, but it's like, oh, now we have those snow days to kind of work into that too. And his other spare job is snow removal. So I think they might work together with that. It's hard to know, but take care, guys. And how you can get my set of 10 cards is use my host code here that's specific to the February stamp camp, and you'd get all 10 cards for free with a $75 order. And if your order is larger, I always like to let people know this, and I kind of forget about that. Like say you want to bump up your order to 150 just so that you can get more celebration choices and more host rewards, or some host rewards, because 150 is where you start earning host rewards. Then you choose, like, oh, do I want my host rewards? Do I want Belle's cards? And you know, that's your choice, because I don't ever know like what's more of a reward to you, my cards or like a free stamp set if you get, you know, over 150. So that's why I let you guys choose. But when you're ordering, please let me know, you know, always what host code that you want to get that used for. Or if you say, you know what, I'm gonna get the host rewards because I can just order Belle's cards for $25 for the set of 10, and that works too. So happy Monday, happy President's Day, everyone. Thank you so much for your compliments. It was a fun card to put together, I'm not gonna lie. Some just become more fun as you start putting all the pieces together, and that was one of those today. So see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.